Greetings, TheWarOwl greets you, and happy new update. We've got a new operation as TheWarOwl, the sage of gaming, has accurately predicted live on stream. Okay, so I was joking when I predicted it, but I got it 100% accurate. Kinda creepy. Here's another great example of my eerie powers of deduction, I mean magic. I honestly think the weapons are fine how they are. The Deagle needs a makeover, but we may see the revolver as a replacement at some point, so I'm not too worried about it. Over 2 years ago on Reddit.
What have I done? I knew the horrors of the R8 and did nothing to stop it. I have failed you as your trusted sage of gaming.
Anyway, let's chit-chat for a bit about the new operation before we look at some of the other changes in this update. The biggest change to the game was the reintroduction of the reworked Nuke, which we've had birthing pains for over the last years. I've played about 6 full games of Nuke as of the writing of this video. I wanted to make sure I got proper exposure to all of the different elements of the update before I made this video about my thoughts about it. Some of these games were with viewers live, some was on matchmaking, and some were on third-party pug systems. First impressions, it looks fantastic. The visuals are great and it fits perfectly with the CSGO theme. The previous version, as I've criticized in the past, looked like it was directly ported from source. It was ugly and outdated, where the new one is smooth and sexy, fresh. I feel like I got a new wife! It reminds me of the reworked Season in some sense. The backdrops make for appropriate visibility at key areas of the map, and for the most part, stuff doesn't get in the way or catch you as you run by. One example of clutter, though, on this map is the new rafters in a site. They make it kind of difficult to see players entering through squeakies, just a bunch of stuff in the way. Let's briefly go over some of the major changes to the map. Overall, the map is dumbed down, made more accessible to the vast majority of players. You no longer need to do complicated jumps to get to key points in the map, such as Marshmallow. There are very clear areas of the map to jump up to higher elevations, ladders added to get players on top of objects, and it's fairly obvious where you can and cannot go. Pro tip! You can plant on top of the nuclear reactors. This is a difficult position to plant, but if you get it, it's really, really difficult to defuse that thing. Pro tip over! In my opinion, these changes are great. It removes some of the inconveniences and special knowledge players previously needed to have, so they can focus on who is the better player, which is the better team, not who has watched every single TheWarOwl video multiple times. By the way, you should still watch every single TheWarOwl video multiple times. The balance issues with the map previously were the difficulty terrorists had in pushing certain positions, and how the map was sort of like a waterfall in terms of CT rotates, where you could rotate downhill but not uphill. These all have been addressed. The door to hut has been enlarged so you can view rafters from hut. The entire second half of rafters have been made inaccessible, allowing for more possible A takes, especially through Squeaky. In contrast, a block has been added to prevent players from throwing nades into Squeaky from lobby, a very common strategy for taking the site. It makes my classic lemonade door strategy impossible now. Outside rafters now wraps completely over to heaven. This is such an important change to the dynamic of outside. A block has been added to remove visibility from big garage to silo, making outside so much easier to take for the terrorists. What we figured out from playing it is that it now makes sense to always have 2 players watching outside. Some jerk union worker decided to store tons of empty boxes in ramp room, blocking up the corner spot, but it allows the CTs to boost on top of it for a very easy hold. I'm not exactly enthusiastic about this position. I don't like spots where boosting a player gives you an immeasurable advantage. It's really tough to peek this spot while entering radio.
Radio. What's going on with that radio?
Bomb site B is completely different. Toxic has been added back in, so now you can wrap completely around bag halls, but they also added another extra room to watch bomb plants from. I'm not a big fan of the extra room. I think it adds unneeded complexity to the site. I like the Toxic extension, but I'm not a big fan of this extra room. And the role this spot would essentially achieve has already been achieved by Toxic. It's just another corner to check, and it's really tough to check as well. When a player ramp decides to rotate downstairs after T's take ramp, they can chill in this room, dark room, Toxic, control. It's too much.
It's too much! It's too much!
Retakes are looking like they're going to be really difficult on this map now, which I get as a way to encourage more T-wins, but it might go the way of Inferno, where you have more saves than attempts at a retake, which I don't think makes for fun gameplay. The vents have been turned into a snake. Vents go open, vents go shut. Vents go open, vents go shut. Vents go open.
Shut up!
Overall though, I really like the new Nuke. It'll take some time to see what the balance is, but I'm expecting it to be far more T-sided than it was before, which I suppose was the intent. I had fun playing it though, and there's lots of options for the terrorists and lots of ways to rotate for the CTs. It's a fun map, and honestly, probably my favorite map at the moment. If you lose track of a player, they could go anywhere, which is really fun for clutch situations. There's a bunch of other new maps too. I haven't had a chance to look at all of them in depth, but for the ones that I've played, they're okay. Santorini is in it, FMPone's new map situated in Greece. I'm not really sure if this one is going to be taken up as a competitive map. It's a very mid-centric map. Well, I guess mid kind of has to be at the center, but you know what I mean? Ts really need to take control of middle to really make anything happen. There's also a map based in Amsterdam, where you get to visit the red light district. No pictures. Prostitutes. How this isn't a hostage map with custom lewd models is beyond me. Then there's more of this. I always feel like Counter-Strike mappers are those guys who like to visit abandoned buildings. Today we're going to be exploring an abandoned building. Let's check it out. Oh my gosh. There's dust everywhere. This place clearly hasn't been walked in years. This is disgusting. What is this? A knockoff Stargate 1 Lego set? Oh, this is gross, man. Whoa, ancient technology. That's sweet. Look at all this stuff. Inhuman squalor. Terrible living conditions. This is amazing. Oh gosh, what the hell is it? Oh my gosh. There's some light in here. Oh. I played a game on the cruise ship hostage map and honestly had fun. The maps this time have a great visual quality to them. Along with the new maps, we have a completely new mission structure, split between co-op scenarios against AI and your regular mission fare of kill 10 chickens. I wrote the script with kill 10 chickens as the line before I looked at the missions, thinking I was just going to replace it with some inane, silly mission that I found. Lo and behold, there's legitimately a kill 10 chickens mission. TheWarOwl, Sage of Gaming, strikes again. The co-op missions are really fun and challenge you with a high score table. My fishy friend and I aspire to beat all of them with perfect scores, which will give me a fun side hobby. They set up a scenario and you have to own some bots, kind of like Condition Zero. I really like that you can replay them over and over. Splitting co-op into its own section was just such a great move. The storytelling element of the missions is done through a new in-game comic book. Honestly, comics are a great way to easily tell a story in this context, instead of just raw text or what they used last time, text with a narration accompanied by a picture of the character speaking. I don't think Counter-Strike needs a story, but it's not harmful, which is kind of what I feel about the entire update sans the new maps. There's also a new type of mission called a Blitz mission, which are global missions that change every few hours. The reward is just extra experience. As always, seems like every reward is just extra experience, but it does challenge you to try something new. And it's fun because a bunch of other people will be doing the missions too, and you'll probably run across them. I think missions are a neat idea because they encourage the player to try a wide variety of different ways to play the game. They keep it interesting, they switch it up with additional challenges, and encourage more of a sense of community. So the next time you come across a screaming child angry at you for killing them because he was just trying to kill some chickens for a mission, don't flame them. Say, I appreciate you, friend. We don't want none of that bullying to be going on. We got a new case. Yippee. More skins to waste money on. More reasons to throw matches. Now I gotta make a new Unbox a Fragathon video. The new skins in this one look pretty good, to be honest, and I'll probably use a few of them in my loadouts. Can I just say, Deagle skins always look good, like always. All of the Deagle skins look really cool to me. I think we've come a long way since the first CSGO case. The skins being produced nowadays are really something to look at. They're done by community members, and even some of the cheap skins don't look like poo. And for the record, they're called weapon finishes, not skins. Talking about trading skins make me think of a creepy psychopath killer community, like Buffalo Bill going to a swap meet. And in honor of David Bowie, we have the Bowie knife. Now I know what you're thinking. What's with this hick and his silly funny speak? Isn't it Bowie? Well, here in the South, we say Bowie. And Jim Bowie was from Louisiana, so suck it. Now let's talk about money. What do you get when you purchase the operation? Well, you get the missions, access to the drops of Wildfire cases and Wildfire weapons, and really that's about it. An equipable badge and a journal nobody's ever looked at. It's not much, but it is a way to continue to support the game, and if you sell the Wildfire cases ASAP, you can maybe make the cash back. But hurry up, because they're already spreading like wildfire. I would say only purchase it if you're interested in doing the missions. Not for the mission rewards, which is simply experience, and you'll get a Wildfire drop when you level up once a week, but instead, if you think you'll have fun with them. You still get access to all the new maps without purchasing the operation. Beyond the operation maps, we have a bunch of other fun stuff, like a glitch that allows you to see through smokes. Oh wait, they fixed that already. Maps can have multiple radar images based on player height. So now for me, it just pops up and says, you probably suck at basketball. The best non-operation change is an attempt to save arms race. I suggested in my How to Fix Arms Race video that they need to remove the ability to see the first place player through walls. It was my #1 complaint. Well, they did it! I can actually play Arms Race again without raging and breaking things. Even though you still get an outline on you if you're in first, it doesn't happen through the walls. Under the map changes, we have fixed DM spawns on Cache. Thank goodness. Cache was the most annoying map to DM because everybody spawns at B and you tend to get stuck in the floor. On Mirage, removed wall lamps that block visibility from Ticket Booth to mid in Bombsite A. Another good change, similar to moving up the lamp on Dust 2 mid, which I also suggested. Added a plywood board to bomb crate in Bombsite A to make throwing grenades under scaffolding more consistent. This one is great because now you can Molotov ladder so much easier. I made a tutorial back in the day showing how to bounce the Molotov off of the crazy surface, and it was not 100% reproducible, so this is a much appreciated change. Overall, it's a good update. I love the new Nuke, the co-op missions are fun, everybody seems to like the new knife. The only negative was the smoke glitch. Besides that, nothing went horribly wrong like it usually does in CSGO updates. Kudos to Valve for a job well done. Thank you folks very much for watching. I am TheWarOwl, and I still have no closer.